Hello and welcome back to Jacob's Toys. Please like, share, subscribe, all of those things. All support is very much appreciated. So, as you can probably tell from my backdrop here, what I'm going to be taking a look at is the Marvel Legends Haslab Sentinel. Now, in the UK, we started getting notifications that this was shipping this weekend, and I was very fortunate to be one of those that received mine early this morning. So I'm just going to get into it, have a look, see what we got, and see how it shapes up compared to you guys over in the States that got yours a few weeks back, and see if we've still got the same issues or whether there's the same problems. I'm very excited, so please do stick around. Let's get into it. Now, straight away, as soon as you open the box, you are met with this awesome illustration here of the Xmen Sentinel. And here we go at the front. He's battling all of the X-Men in their most recent costumes that we saw in the most recent wave. And there's Bastion there and Wolverine, and this is the back. And obviously Master Mold's head as well. When you open it up, you see there's a clear piece of plastic holding everything in, and it's very well laid out and looks really, really nice. Absolutely no complaints so far. So here he is in all of his glory. Now, straight off the bat, the packaging is very cool, but as I open the packaging, there was this tiny little bit of purple plastic. I'm yet to find out where it's come from, but it'll be very disappointing if this has come off. Now, initial thoughts are that he is pretty awesome looking. Now, there's the issue with the knees, but it's not as bad as some of the videos that I've seen. Yes, there's a bit of movement there, but it's not quite as bad as what I was expecting, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, my initial thoughts on him is he's pretty much as I expected. The detail on him is really, really nice. Now, one thing to note is that batteries are not included. So all of that work and effort, and you still have to get some batteries. So it's 2 AAA batteries. So if you don't have some, then do get them, because you'll get him home, open him up, and you'll be disappointed you can't turn him on. And on the back here, there's a section that comes off the back like that, and then you've got the battery compartment here, and your 2 AAAs just go in there, and then that slides back on as so. So let's have a look. This is the first time I'm going to turn him on. I'm hoping that these batteries work. Oh, it's doing something. Oh, but he doesn't talk, does he? That's the Amazon one. Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. I thought he talked. I thought he could speak. But no, he doesn't. That's the Amazon one. Now, I did have that to have some size comparison, but I actually sent him off a couple of weeks ago to make space for this guy. So I'm not going to do a side-by-side comparison, but you can just press the button and it cycles through the various different colours. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Now, anything, as you can see, he's got his 2 eyes lit up. If you turn his head for articulation, one of the eyes goes out, so you can't turn him that far and have both eyes light up, which is a bit of a shame, I think. But I guess it's something to do with the circuits. But yeah, that's a pity. That is a shame. But the articulation on him is really cool. Obviously, he's got all the articulation points that they said. So you've got your fingers here that articulate right round. That's really cool. Hands, obviously. Yeah, I mean, but all in all, I mean, he is very, very big looking. Now, I don't know if you can see, these are detolfs that I got from IKEA. Now, I know a lot of people use these as a display option, just to give you a bit of an idea of how he stands up. He's going to take 2 shelves in there easily. Yeah. Now, he is really quite heavy, so I'm not going to put him up high. I think I'm going to use one of the bottom shelves. But yeah, he's very big. Yeah, I mean, I've got no real complaints. I can stand him there. He's not, no issues there with the standing up. He's extremely articulated. The detail's good. I can't see where that little chip of paint came from. So maybe it was just in the box and not actually off of the model. Yeah, I don't have the complaints with the knees that I've seen commonly online. Actually seems okay. Now, would I put him up high? Oh, see? Yeah, no, maybe there is. But to be perfectly honest with you, I think it's like with a lot of these figures. I think the thing that's easy to forget, now I'm not making excuses, those knees should have been ratcheted in my opinion. However, I think the thing that we're forgetting with a lot of the 6-inch figures, yes, they'll stand in like a vanilla pose, but you also need to move them around and kind of work on the balance and stuff like that. And I think the same can be said for this guy. You know, I've just twisted one of the feet out here and yeah, adjusted his knees a little bit, and he seems to be holding the pose. Let me put him on so he's on camera a bit more. There you go. And he's holding that pose. So I think it's more a case of actually just having a play around and getting the right pose. Man, that's literally out of the box. A little bit of a twist and just stand up. And I think that maybe a little bit of messing around with the poses, etc. And the positioning of him will be okay. I mean, I wouldn't put him up the top here where like I've got my builder figures, because I think that that's just a recipe for disaster. And a figure this size and shape and weight, I would definitely put down low. So I'm going to put him in one of the lower cabinets of my detail. I've actually got a little hack of what I'm going to do, but I'll do another video for that as well, just in case you guys are looking to display him in the detail as well. But yeah, I think, you know, instead of getting caught up on the knees situation, I'm not going to stand him like a soldier, you know, the 2 feet forward and straight up. I'm going to have him posed. So I'm going to have a little play around with him. If obviously there is issues down the line, then I'll do another video and let you know. But all in all, he's a really, really nice figure. Really pleased to have one in my collection. I know there's a lot of people out there that want one. So I'm really, really pleased to have one. But obviously this wasn't it. It didn't just come with he came with a whole bunch of accessories. So the first one is the tentacles. What did we call them? I can't remember what we call them now. But the tentacles that come out of his hands. And obviously we got 2. We thought we were going to get 1, but we actually got 2, which was a nice touch. So let's just get those out. Now these are made like a lot of the, what do you call it, like bendy Legends figures. So you've got like little 2 holes all the way down, and they bend and hold a varied amount of poses. And by the looks of it, there's just a little slot in his hand, and it goes in like so. There you go. And then obviously you can create a whole bunch of poses with him fighting the X-Men. So now I've said all that about balancing, look, I've adjusted him and he's leaning forward. So it's not actually about him falling backwards for me, it's about him leaning forward. But I think that is just down to needing to mess around with the posing. There we go. Yeah, and we got obviously two of these tentacles, which is really cool. So, and it actually holds its pose quite well. Let me just grab, okay, so I'm crossing over here, but I've got an Iron Man at hand, so let me just show you. He actually holds a pose quite well. And obviously if you want to get it holding a figure, the strength in those are quite good. So yeah, so for photography and for obviously posing in your cabinets, on your shelves, they're definitely going to work. There was a whole bunch of other accessories. Got 2 other figures, 3 other heads, another hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the camera off of here and actually have a look at them properly on like a white background so that you can see them in a bit more detail. But initial thoughts out of the box, it's a really, really nice piece of a kit. Any issues that I do come across, obviously I will put in the comments and stuff, but straight out of the box, there's not as many issues as I was expecting. I think that's probably what I'm trying to say, is I was expecting it to be. I've read so many horror stories online that I really thought that it was going to be like a ticking time bomb, but it's not actually as bad as I expected. So that holds, you know, that gives me quite a lot of hope. And I've not even really got into playing with him yet. So I've really not even tried to get him into various different poses or put him up against various other characters. But I will do that. I'll do that in another video when I'm going to do my little hack for the cabinet, so that you can see what I'm going to do. But yeah, a little bit blown away, to be honest with you. It's a really, really awesome piece of kit. So yeah, right, let's have a look at how the head comes off. Does it just pop off, or does it? This is where I'm going to break it now on camera. Oh, right, there we go. So it is literally a big old ball joint. Actually, I think the guys did show us this. They did show us this, didn't they? They showed us this on one of the live videos. So if we put the lights on, you can see and that would explain as to why when you do turn the head, because I don't know if you can actually see in there, but there's literally just two little pinholes there, and that's where the light comes through. So obviously when this is on, that would explain as to why when you turn the head to a certain angle, the eyes don't light up. So yeah, so the heads come off really easy. I don't even know how to turn this off, so I'm just going to leave it on and let it tighten out itself. Yeah, so let me put him down there, and I will get on to having a look in a little bit more detail at the accessories that we got, the alternate heads and the accessories, etc. So first up here is the standard Sentinel head that we saw him come with straight out of the box. The detail on it is really nice. The paintwork's not too bad. There's a little bit of a bubble here on his chin, but can't really complain too much about that. But yeah, the detail's really, really nice. Even inside there you got some wiring as well, which is quite cool, and you can see the eye holes there as well, which the light shine through. Moving on to the damaged Sentinel head, this is the one that I was really excited for. You can see there's one little eye hole there, but I was really excited for it just because it would double up as a diorama piece. I've got images of kind of Wolverine or something, Colossus or someone kind of clambering over it during a photo, but as an alternative for the Sentinel, it's a very nice one indeed, but also a nice little dio prop as well. Moving on to the next one, which is the Tri-Sentinel head. This is cool, 3 different faces, 3 different looks, obviously all in one piece. All slightly different. That one's like the standard head, then we got the ones with the things in his mouth, and then obviously the silver one that we just saw as well. Each one of these has clear eye holes as well, so all of their eyes light up, and it's slightly larger than the standard Sentinel head, but yeah, nice little addition, not too bad at all. And then moving on to obviously the huge Master Mold head. Now this is the big sort of fan favourite. You can see the wire in there, you can see the 2 eye holes as well. This was one that everyone got very excited about because obviously this Sentinel is huge, so to put a Master Mold head on the top is a nice touch indeed. I'm still not totally sure whether I'm going to display mine as a Master Mold or a Sentinel, but you can see the size comparison there between the 4 heads. We also got the battle damaged hand as well. Now there's no articulation in the fingers unlike the actual hand on the Sentinel, so what you see is what you get. Obviously there is a little bit of wrist articulation here, so you can move it up and down, but there's no articulation in the thumb or the finger that is left intact, so it is just a piece. But it's another dio piece if you're not going to put it on your Sentinel. So this, along with a battle damaged head, would make a nice little backdrop for some photographs or even a display. Just going to pop that in the front there. So yeah, all in all, some really good alternate heads. Let's just take a closer look at those lit up. So this is the battle damaged one. You can see there the lights coming through on one eye, and the other eye is completely out of action. It looks quite cool. It doesn't look too bad at all on the actual body. Here's the Tri-Sentinel head, so I'm just going to try to twist this round. It's a little bit stiffer. They're all relatively easy to pop on and pop off. There's just one big ball joint kind of thing with a light in it. Here's the silver one, and then we'll twist it around, and then there's the third option as well. But yeah, that's definitely a nice alternate head. Just the thing to remember is that only the 2 eyes at the front will light up because of the way that the light comes out. Would have been nice if we could have got all 3 of them lit up. And here is the Master Mold. Now he looks really cool lit up, I'm not going to lie. Those eyes look really quite menacing, and the head kind of scales a little bit better with the body as well, but he's a really cool alternate head. There's a lot of articulation there because of the way that it's fitted on as well. So that's the 3 additional heads with the lights coming out of their eyes. So yeah, obviously we also got a Bastion figure, which is really cool. Now this was the selling point for a lot of people. I'm not going to spoil it too much about Bastion's story, but he is a Sentinel nonetheless, and it was a really nice touch to get him included in this huge Haslab Sentinel. He was definitely the selling point for a lot of people, and he doesn't really disappoint. He's a standard 6-inch figure. There's the standard articulation, pins obviously you can still see, and from what I can tell, it's pretty much a new chest piece and a new head. There's a nice bit of detail on his neck, but the head in itself is really cool. His head is really quite detailed, and he's definitely a figure that's definitely worth having on your shelf if you're an X-Men fan nonetheless. I was really pleased to get him, and I was really quite excited, probably as excited to look at him as I was the Sentinel. He also came with this additional head as well, which gives you another Prime Sentinel, which is quite cool. We also got a female Prime Sentinel, which again made this all that more tempting and all that more appealing. She is just a standard female buck. From what I can tell, obviously it's a new head cast and there's a new chest piece on there at the top, but the rest of it is just pretty much a standard black female figure. But they look really cool together, and they're a really nice little touch to go with the big, huge Haslab Sentinel. I was really pleased to get these. I love the 6-inch figures, so I was really pleased that they were going to include two, and two that obviously are relevant to the Haslab Sentinel as well. Now, obviously, being a customizer as well, I do dabble with customizing. When I saw that these two were announced, I did grab a couple of the Ant-Man figures and made a couple of additional Prime Sentinels. Now the colour doesn't match completely, but obviously I was only working off concept art, so I think I'm going to go back and revisit this. But you've got another couple of looks there as well. Now one of the heads that I did was obviously the Prime Sentinel that we've had the additional head for, so I'm going to swap them over in a minute. And the other one was the one with the hair out the top. Now that was just a Gambit figure, I think, and these are the Ant-Man bodies. Now there wasn't a huge amount that you have to do with the Ant-Man bodies. It literally is just a case of painting the metallic on the neck, and painting the purpley pink over the chest piece, and then the rest you can pretty much keep as it is. So if you can pick up a couple of those, you can do this modification as well and give yourself some additional Prime Sentinels. So there we go with the head swap. The colours don't match completely, but from a distance they don't actually look that bad. I think I'll go back and just maybe add a bit more metallic to it so that it kind of matches up a little bit better. But I'm happy to have a Prime Sentinel team of 4. That's not a problem at all. So yeah, nice figures. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this has been interesting. Please do like, share and subscribe if you're enjoying the channel, and do check me out over on Instagram at Jacobs_toys. Yeah, so until next time, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you very soon.